Hi guys, Darth Deuces here with the final of my series of top 10 figures videos for the end of 2021. It is my top 10 overall figures for 2021. If you haven't watched my previous videos, I did a top 10 of 2021 for 6 scale pickups, McFarlane toys, Transformers, and Black Series, Star Wars Black Series. So if you haven't watched those yet, those are just for those lines. So go take a look at those if you want. If you've watched those videos, some of these entries in this list will not be new news to you. So you probably guessed some of the stuff that's on this list. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know, it doesn't really matter. But anyways, let's get right onto it. Figures had to have been released in 2021 or pretty close to it. And the only thing that wasn't considered on this list was 6 scale stuff. Again, like I said, I made a separate video for those. It's not fair to compare other lines with the 6 scale figures. Those are just going to automatically be some of the best stuff and my favorite stuff I picked up this year. So there's a separate video for that. But yeah, so in front of you is just some honorable mentions, I guess, just some random figures from some lines I was collecting this year. From right to left, that's the Gunpla high grade Death Scythe. Funny enough, I never grew up with Gundam Wing. I never grew up with Gundam. I haven't started getting into Gundam until 2018. It's kind of crazy. I've been doing Gunpla for almost 4 years now. Kind of crazy. It feels like I just started like a year or two ago. But I kind of forgot that the high grade Death Scythe came out this year. I don't remember when that came out. It must have came out early in the year. I don't even remember. I can't remember when I built it. Like, I couldn't remember it was a release from this year, but it's a really cool kit. But there was nothing. Well, first of all, this year for Gunpla was slow. Let's just cut to that. It was slow. I didn't get a ton of stuff that was released this year. Death Scythe is one of them. It is good, but not good enough to be in my top 10. I do like it though, and I watched Gundam Wing this year for the first time, and I liked Gundam Wing as well. I also built one of them. Gunpla would have come close. Is I got the real grade Zeong last shooting effect, which is really cool. That kit actually made me like the Zeong. I was never a huge Zeong fan before, but I like it a lot now. That kit's really good. The last shooting effects, all the effect parts is super cool, but it's a pretty expensive kit for a real grade, and I put it in a pose I like, and I haven't touched it since because I don't want to change the pose. I've got all the effect parts on it. It's a pain in the ass to change the pose. So it's not really a fun kit to mess with all the effects. So yeah, it's not going to make the list because it wasn't fun, or not fun to mess with. I got the real grade Wing Gundam, but I got it for Christmas. I haven't gotten around to building it yet, so I have no idea if that would be in the top 10 or not. Probably not, but it's probably good though. I just haven't built it yet. And one kit that would have made the list if I could have gotten it is the real grade High New Gundam. But I never got it, so it's not on the list, unfortunately. It probably would have been on the list 100% because it looks really good. But yeah, a couple of Halo figures. We have the Jega Rumani or whatever his name is from Halo Infinite, from the World of Halo 3 3/4 inch line. Which is a really good line of figures. I wasn't going to collect them, but I ended up, towards the end of the year, picking up a nice handful of them. And the World of Halo line has a lot of potential. That's a really solid line. Vehicles, well-articulated and sculpted figures. It's got some kinks to work out, but it's really cool. And Jega's, even though he's a bit limited in some articulation, he's a really cool one. I really like the design of that character. He's cool in the game, so that's a cool figure. On the other hand, the 6.5 inch line, the Spartan Collection figures, is a line I want to love, and I wish I could have put one of the figures on the list. Emil's probably my favorite from this year. I also got Jerome, and I got a couple of the other Spartans, and I got Palmer. Yeah, I mean, Emil's close to being on the list. He was cool, but they're just lacking a bunch of stuff. Like, another line has the potential to be really good, but they just don't put stuff in. I don't know. Jazzwares just they don't make improvements. I don't know why. They're just lacking some paint. Some of the articulation engineering is just mind-bogglingly weird. Some of the articulation, if I didn't already just say that, is weird. I think I already said that, is weird. Yeah, there's just some weird things with that line. So yeah, none of those figures are making the list. Marvel Legends, unfortunately, spoiler alert, no Marvel Legends made my list. Marvel Legends is a line I'm trying to kind of ease out of. I'm trying to really stick to only figures I really, really want for characters I really, really want. But one figure, which is right here in front of you, Ultron, really came close to making the list. That new Ultron is super good. I really love that Ultron figure. And for him not to make the list, there's a lot of good stuff that came out I really liked. But Ultron is really good. Really like that one. There's also like some others that were really good. I don't know. The modular armor Iron Man was good. Ironmonger was really good from the movie. The new Red Skull was good. I like the new Dormammu. Um, and the new Hand Ninja was good. And I can't remember any other figures I got from this year for Marvel Legends. But yeah. Star Wars Vintage Collection, again, didn't get a ton of new releases, but the new releases we did get were really solid. Again, that Darth Maul came close to making the list if it wasn't for another Vintage Collection figure, which you'll see later. I've been wanting, of course, the Clone Wars Maul in a super articulated format in a long time, and they delivered in the Vintage Collection. I'd say that's probably the best Darth Maul you can get in the Vintage Collection. I still like the Phantom Menace Vintage Collection one. That was really good too, but this one's really good. Superb articulation, great paint apps, face prints great. Yeah, just really good. G.I. Joe Classified, a bunch of great figures. Snake Eyes nearly made the list. This Alpha Commando set with the Timber is really good. I love the accessories. I love the Commando style that they got going on. Articulation's great. But I had Snake Eyes on my list last year. I do prefer that look for Snake Eyes, and I wanted to give another character from Classified that I really liked from this year, put it on the list, so Snake Eyes didn't make it. And then Mezco, I did not pick up a lot of Mezco figures. But I did get a few, and Wonder Woman's one of those figures that I got that just didn't quite make the list. But I don't own very many I don't own very many Wonder Woman figures, but this one's definitely my favorite Wonder Woman in my collection. I think they did a really good job in this modern Wonder Woman. She's pretty much everything I want in a Wonder Woman figure. Good articulation, looks great, comes with a ton of stuff. You get shield, wired lasso, a bunch of weapons. Some of them you store on her person, a wired cloak. 2 head sculpts, interchangeable armor you can put on. It's a really great figure. I had some personal issues with mine. The arms are a little sketchy to bend, and one of the hands, the joint likes to come apart when you try to pull off the left hand, which is really annoying. It doesn't break, it just comes apart. It's really weird and really annoying, so that kept it off the list as well. Anyways, I've rambled on long enough. Let's get on to the actual top 10. Now moving on to the actual top 10. At number 10, we have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Major Blood. This figure is just really awesome. There's not, too much to say. Unfortunately, I did have to pay scalper prices for it because it's impossible to get in Canada. Unless you were really lucky to find it in stock online at some point. I've never seen it in stock online at Toys R Us. These are exclusive to Toys R Us up here, but that's, almost can never get them. But it's super nice. A bit of reuse of the Cobra Trooper / infantry, but a lot of new. I'm a sucker for a guy who carries around a revolver. I love the heavy revolver looking thing he's wielding there. I love the robotic arm. That's really cool. The face print and sculpt, I think, is incredible on this guy, which I think it looks really good. The eye patch, the scarring, the expression just looks awesome. You remove the helmet if you want. He's got the little gun and then the backpack that holds the missiles. You can put the missiles in the gun, which is really cool. Articulation's great. Just a super solid figure. My only real complaint is that, well, aside from the price I had to pay, the missiles don't stay in the backpack very well. Aside from that, really, really solid figure. There are a lot of great classified figures. Like I said, that Snake Eyes, Firefly is really good. Zartan was surprisingly good. I wasn't expecting to like that figure as much as I did, and the Cobra Infantry was also pretty great. And at number 9, we have our Vintage Collection entry, and it is none other than the new Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. And I think this is definitely the best 3 3/4 inch Boba Fett Hasbro's ever made. I'd even argue it's one of their best 3 3/4 inch figures they've ever made for Star Wars. The modern articulation is great. The sculpt, the paint is awesome. It has a better helmet sculpt than the 6-inch figure, in my opinion. Accessories are okay. He's got a jetpack and he's got a rifle. That's all he really needs. It would have been nice to get, maybe a effect part for something, but that's fine. He has a soft goods cape, which even the 6-inch one doesn't have. This is just not really much to say. It's just super awesome. It's my favorite 3 3/4 inch figure of the year, for sure. Next up, if you watched my top 10 Black Series, this is probably no surprise. Arc Trooper Echo, he was my number one on my top 10 Black Series of 2021. And yeah, it's just an incredible figure. Really uses the new clone mold very well. A bunch of accessories, removable helmet, face printed head underneath, great paint apps. You know, I could sing its praises all day. It's an absolutely awesome figure for Black Series. And if you're a Clone Trooper collector, I think you gotta have this one. Unfortunately, it wasn't the easiest to get. Next up at number 7. Yeah, number 7. Again, if you watched my top 10 McFarlane Toys of 2021, you probably saw this one coming. Kickstarter Classic Spawn. Again, I backed the Kickstarter, and I think it's, yeah, an amazing figure. Even though it has a few faults, a few criticisms that are valid, but I still think it's absolutely awesome. It's my favorite Spawn figure in my collection. Probably my favorite McFarlane Toys figure I own out of all the ones I have. Is absolutely awesome. Has such a shelf presence. Great accessories, great paint apps, pretty good articulation. It's just really, really nice. And then at number 6, we have the Storm Collectibles Ares from Injustice Gods Among Us. This is one of my most anticipated figures of the year. I've been wanting and anticipating this figure ever since Storm Collectibles teased it. And it's an amazing figure. Great articulation. Looks amazing. The sculpt and paint is awesome. Pretty user friendly. It's got a lot of rubber parts, so you're not going to like bust anything off or hurt yourself with it. There's a few pointy parts. Good accessories, got hand options, got the giant axe and giant sword, a wired cape, a removable helmet, and multiple head sculpts for different expressions. Make this a really fun figure and a really awesome figure. Some small complaints, like the cape being kind of designed weirdly, and the gripping hands being a little too soft, so it's a little hard for him to grip the large, heavy weapons securely. But overall, super awesome figure. And at number 5, if you watched my top 10 Transformers, this is my number 1 Transformer of the year. It is the Mastermind Creations Optus Nox, which is their Nemesis Prime repaint of their Optus Pexis figure. And yeah, again, incredible release. Super, super articulated. One of the most articulated figures in my entire collection, I'm pretty sure. You can do some crazy stuff with this guy, and it still looks really good. You know, it doesn't really screw up the proportions or anything at all. The paint apps, the different colors that are there look great. I love the shade of black. The teal, subtle teal, gunmetal colors in red looks great. Big Nemesis Prime fans. I'm just going to like that stuff anyways. Accessories, great. He's got 2 guns. He's got wrist-mounted cannons. He's got interchangeable 2 head face plates. You got the face with the normal faceplate, and then you got the one I have on there with the busted off faceplate, and you can see the mouth. Super cool. The super cool sword and the awesome wired cloak, soft goods cloak, which is pretty rare to see among Transformers figures, so that's awesome. And vehicle mode, decent, a little boring, but decent. It's pretty accurate to what it's based off of, and a fairly simple transformation. Honestly, it's a simple and fun to do transformation, which is great as well. Matrix that goes in his chest, it pretty much got it all. It's such a super cool figure. If you don't have one of these, either the Pexis or Nox, I would highly recommend picking up one of them if you're a Transformers fan. It's something you really got to experience. So number 4, we're moving into the territory of Mezco, and the Mezco Dr. Fate is one hell of a figure. It's super cool. I paid a little over retail for it, but I'm glad I at least got it. I think it's one of the figures that a lot of people slept on this year, but they did an absolutely incredible job. They gave him a nice modern look to the classic look without going overly Mezco-ified. The actual fabric, the blue suit, is just a simple blue suit, no weird patterns on it, which is awesome. He's got the nice skirt. All the armor bits are nicely painted and detailed. The cape is fully wired, so that's awesome. And even the collar is wired, which is cool. The helmet looks great. His chest and eyes light up, which is super cool. Tons of accessories. He's got a unhelmeted head, an empty helmet they can just hold, a bunch of hand options. As you can see, he's got magic effects. He has a Book of Thoth, which actually has individual paper pages, and it actually has different writing on the pages, which is really crazy cool. Yeah, this thing is absolutely incredible. I think it's one of Mezco's coolest figures they've done. I'll be honest, it's super good, and it's just one of my favorite Mezco figures in my entire collection of Mezco figures. Very nice, very nice. And at number 3, we're still sticking with Mezco. One of the figures I got at the very beginning of the year. It is the Mezco 112 Collective Two-Face. I've been wanting a good, like really good Two-Face for a long time. I was super excited when this was revealed and put up for pre-order. I pre-ordered it instantly. Got it, and yeah, I'm super happy with this figure. The soft goods is done very well. Suits can, especially at this scale, can look kind of bad, but I think for the most part it looks great. I like that they wired the bottom so you can get the look kind of more dynamic if you get in more dynamic poses. He looks really good. I like the head sculpt a lot. Good articulation and tons of accessories. Guns, muzzle flash effects, like 3 different head sculpts, a little band of gauze you can put around the head sculpts. Coin flip effects, a bunch of different hands. Some of those hands which have different ways he's posing the coin. Light up briefcase, like bomb briefcase. Like he's got it all. Super cool. Would I preferred a black and white suit? Yeah, but I still really like this one. This more modern, I guess, version of his suit I think still looks really cool. And I think it's an absolutely amazing figure personally. But I'm a big Two-Face fan. So the last 2 figures are big figures, and it is 3 Zeros Deluxe Soundwave from the Bumblebee movie at number 2, which again is a figure I got pretty early in the year. But I knew when I got it, it was going to be in my top 10, and it made it all the way to number 2. And it's incredible. You know, I've sang the praises of 3 Zero before. I'll keep singing them. Especially their Transformers figures are incredible. I can't believe people will shit on these figures because they don't transform. It's crazy to me. People will complain about them not transforming. Something that looks this good, if it had a transformation, the transformation would be so unfun, people wouldn't transform it anyways. I would never transform it. If the transformation is too complicated and unfun, it's not going to get transformed. So I prefer if it just didn't transform and had all the articulation and all the detail that you'd want to make it as accurate as possible to how it looked in the movie or whatever. And yeah, Soundwave's great. You got tons of paint apps. Tons of amazing sculpt, good size, good heft. He's got metal pieces in him, good moving parts. All the articulation is pretty seamless for the most part. He's got great accessories, hand options, gun, shoulder gun, and he even comes with a fully articulated Ravage that can fold up and go into his chest, which is super cool. And he's got the light up eyes, which I have on right now, which also look great. Absolutely incredible piece. If you're a Soundwave fan, like I think and you can afford this anyways. These are pretty decently priced, honestly, but they're still expensive. But you can afford these, you gotta get this one. It's super cool. And last but not least, another 3 Zero Transformers figure. It is these 3 Zero Deluxe Revenge of the Fallen Optimus Prime, which, again, it's a little crazy. This figure came out at the very tail end of December. I ordered it in December, and it didn't get to me until very early 2022. But I'm gonna count it because it is a 2021 release. If it came out a little earlier, if I had it on pre-order instead of just ordering it, I might have got it in 2021. Anyways, it doesn't matter. Absolutely incredible figure. This is my favorite of the 3 Zero Deluxe figures by far. Beautifully painted. All the nice metallic paint makes it look like it's all made of metal. He's super hefty. He's actually, even though he's not as bulky as the 3 Zero Soundwave, he's actually heavier than that figure. Tons of moving parts, crazy articulation that is really well hidden and seamless. He's got the light up eyes, which is great. A bunch of accessories. You got hands, stand, 2 guns, 2 energon swords that go in his wrists, interchangeable mouth plates. You have the mouth or the face plate. I got the face plate on right now. Yeah, I mean, what else is there really to say? This thing is absolutely incredible. I grew up with this Optimus. I grew up with these movies. So they mean a lot to me, and this version of Optimus also means a lot to me, and this is, I think, an incredible figure to capture that character for me. So he is super cool, and 100%, even though I've only had him for like a week, he is my favorite of the year, 100%. So good. There's no contest outside of 6 scale. This is my favorite. Anyways, that's pretty much it. I've already taken up way too much time, so I apologize for that, but that is my top 10 of 2021 overall. Not the best of year in general, but it's a good year for figures. They're usually good years for figures, and this year was a good year for figures. Lots of great stuff. But yeah, that's it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your guys' favorite figures of 2021 were down in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video. And hopefully all of you have a great 2022. Hopefully things get better. I'm pretty sure they will. Anyways, again, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.